I was 19 years old when my mum passed away from ovarian cancer. There wasn't really any discussion of BRCA at that time. It wasn't part of the conversation in relation to ovarian cancer. Mum passing away was a very difficult time in our lives. Unbelievably, less than 13 years later, my little sister Betsy also faced her own cancer diagnosis and ultimately passed away before her 30th birthday from breast cancer. Me and my twin sister were advised to get BRCA tested, as Betsy had also been BRCA tested and was BRCA positive. From that, both me and my twin sister found out that we were BRCA positive and went on our own individual journeys with that faulty BRCA gene and diagnosis of carrying a faulty BRCA gene.
I was pregnant with my second son when I felt the lump. Didn't think anything of it, just thought it was hormones. And then when he was 3 months old, still felt it. And after loads of tests, biopsies, scans, they confirmed it was triple negative breast cancer. It just didn't feel like me that was happening to. And I just remember just crying and just thinking that I was just going to wake up from a nightmare. I decided to test myself to see if I had the BRCA gene. I was obviously quite concerned that I had breast cancer and my mum had breast cancer, and obviously I've got a sister. Me and my sister actually both tested together. We both found out we were actually BRCA1 positive on the same day, and it was the day that I was starting my chemotherapy treatment. Finding out we were BRCA was heartbreaking, and it was really hard, but I think, you know, one of the best things that has come out of it is that it can stop her going through this, because I don't wish this upon anyone.
My mum, she died from breast cancer when I was 27 and she was 59. Breast cancer was just a part of our family. I'd grown up knowing her mum had died from it. So when she was diagnosed, I think there was a moment of like, oh, okay, here we go. My best friend and my husband very much were like, look, you've got some family history, maybe go and get checked for these gene mutations. And I went along, I think in 2017 to a breast clinic, and I actually thought I'd go along and I'd just get checked that day. I'd made the decision, but what happened is they said there was no young ovarian, no young breast cancer to warrant being tested. So I actually just kind of thought that day, okay, well, they know what they're talking about. Fast forward a few years and my oldest sister was devastatingly diagnosed with stage 4B ovarian cancer. She was tested for the gene mutation because of her age. She was 43, and it came back that she had it, and it was from my dad's side of the family and nothing to do with my mum, and one of these cruel twists of fate, right? A few months later, I found a swelling under my armpit. I was on a chemo ward with my older sister who had just finished her big op, and she got her nurse to check it, and then they just said, look, it'll be I'm sure it's nothing, but with your history, your family history, go get it checked out. And I was diagnosed with aggressive breast cancer. You can never really go back to who you were before a cancer diagnosis. But if I'd had the testing for the gene mutation back in 2017 when I originally went, I may never have had breast cancer.
After finding out that I was a BRCA carrier, We had a 50-50 chance of passing BRCA on to any future children. It was apparent, I think in equal measure, both to me and my wife, that we should go down the IVF PGD route. We then have had the possibility to have 2 healthy children who will be BRCA-free, who are BRCA-free and won't have similar tough choices to make in relation to this faulty BRCA gene in their lifetime.
I just feel like, this is such an amazing step and such great hope for the future in terms of what my kids are going to be able to kind of find out in terms of their genes and protecting themselves.
It's amazing and massively comforting to hear of the work that charities like Genetics are doing, and the fact that early next year screening is going to be available to anyone with a Jewish grandparent. I think it's going to get a lot of people finding out they carry it before they have to hear the words they've got cancer. I know it would have helped me and it would have changed my family's story. So yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing and hopeful and brilliant.